Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for serving this week and for watching this video to prepare to lead your small group. This Sunday we will be starting our new monthly theme, Puzzled, Believe There's a Bigger Picture, where we will be focusing on hope, believing that something good can come out of something bad. We will be instilling the truth that we can trust God no matter what. And in our Bible story from John, we will hear the story about Lazarus being raised as we learn that whatever happens, remember how powerful God is. Our verse this month is, "In this world you will have trouble, but be encouraged. I have won the battle over the world." John 16:33b. For your first opening activity, you're going to have the kids get into groups of 2 or 3, and they're going to pick a power puzzle. One of these different puzzles that has the different colorful shapes on it, and they're going to then use the shapes that are provided to see how quickly they can work out their power puzzle. And then if they complete it, they can choose another one. So as they're working, you want to encourage them to talk about what they know about the chosen objects, like their animals, like big strong things like elephants and such. And then also what they think, all of those different objects that they see people creating, what they all have in common. So again, for example, we have an elephant, we've got a T-Rex, we've got a rocket ship. So man, these are all big things. So those could be the things that they're trying to see what they have in common. They're big, they're powerful, they're strong, things like that. Then for your next opening activity, you will go through naming sets of 2 animals and have kids vote for which one they think is more powerful by pantomiming that animal's movement. Like lion or mouse, they will do the action of the lion. So maybe they would pretend they have a mane and roar, you know. Or if it was a shark and a fish, then they might put the fin up and do actions that a shark might do. So they would want to choose that way. There are examples in your leader page of the different animals you could choose from, or you can let the kids take turns naming 2 animals that have opposites. As they are pantomiming, point out what you see those powerful animals doing. Then wrap up by naming some of those specific things that the animals do that show how powerful they are. Like, man, that T-Rex sure is stomping. Or wow, look at the chomp on that shark. Or there's, moving really quick. Those elephants have strong trunks. I see them moving. Then you're going to tell the kids about that today's Bible story. They're going to hear about someone who was more powerful than anything. So more powerful than a T-Rex, than a dinosaur, than the elephants, than the big sharks, all of that. So they're going to listen out for that in their Bible story today. Then after large group, you're going to circle up and have the kids retell the parts of the story that they remember. Then ask for volunteers to act out the story with Mary, Martha, Lazarus, the disciples, the villagers, Jesus, and even the tomb. If you run out of characters for people, somebody can be the tomb if you want, while you're narrating the actions through the stories. Then group the kids up in 2s or 3s and give each group a set of the story of Lazarus cards. So these pieces that are going to be in a bag. Then they're going to need to put those cards in order, and once they have theirs in order, have them take turns telling each other the whole story from beginning to end. Then you're going to regroup into your circle at the end and use the script on your leader guide to bring home the message of this story that whatever happens, remember how powerful God is. Then for the next activity, start by having the kids look up and read the memory verse. Then while in a circle, have hand one kid a plastic egg. You're going to pass the egg around the circle while saying the memory verse 1 word at a time. In, then it goes to the next kid, this world you will have trouble. But when it gets to the person that says trouble, when you get to the person that says trouble, and that kid's going to have to jump up, run around the circle, and then come back to that empty spot and sit back down, then that kid needs to name a trouble, like getting sick or losing a favorite toy, or maybe their pet dies. So that kid is going to name a trouble, and then you're going to say, that does sound like trouble. And you want to say, Jesus said, though, to be encouraged. I have won the battle over the world. And then you're going to continue with the game again on the next round. They're going to pass it to the next person. In this world, you will have trouble. That kid gets up, runs around the circle, sits back down. They're going to name a trouble, and you say it again, that does sound like trouble, but Jesus said, be encouraged. I have won the battle over the world. And keep going until all the kids get a turn. Play several rounds so that everyone gets a turn, and then wrap up your activity by saying that Jesus tells us that bad things will happen to us, but Jesus also promises that he has won that battle for us. That means that no matter what happens, he is powerful enough to make good come from bad. Tell the kids about a time where God worked in your life, something that was bad, and turned it into something good. And some of the kids may want to share their stories as well as you talk to them about whatever happens, God is powerful. And then finally, as you gather your group in a circle to close out your time together and pray, use the conversation in your leader guide as you remind the kids what it means to hope, and that we can always remember that whatever happens, we remember how powerful God is. And while you're waiting for adults to arrive, you can have the kids practice saying the bottom line with you by leaving a word out each time and seeing if they can fill it in. For our second service leaders specifically, there's going to be a bag that says Kinder-1st second service only. This is an extra activity that you can do in place of one of the other ones. And you're going to have the kids partner up and give each partner, there's Cheerios in the bag, there's string, and there's these little wool pieces. And you're going to give each partner pair, a Cheerio, one string, and a comb and a piece of wool. And you're going to have the kids help them tape the string, one end of the string to the table, and then on that string is going to have a Cheerio. So if you need to help them understand, you're going to take a string, you'll get a Cheerio. These are blue Cheerios because they're blueberry Cheerios. And you may need to help them get that string through the Cheerio hole. We have plenty of Cheerios in case they're struggling to do that. And once you get that through the Cheerio hole, you're going to be able to tape one end of the string over to the table, and then you have the other end that they'll hold on to keep it level, and the Cheerio will be in the middle. You may need to use the end of a pencil lead to stick that through, or your fingernails. There we go. So that Cheerio is going to be suspended there. And what you want to do is to have this end taped, this end they're holding, and they're going to use the wool laid over here and the comb going against to see if they can cause that Cheerio to make its way all the way over to their hand. Okay, so they can work together on this. This is a great project to work together and talk about how rubbing the comb on the wool makes static electricity, which works like a magnet to pull two things together. Kind of like God pulls things together in our lives to make a difference. He is powerful enough to make something good come out of something bad. And it doesn't always mean that he will fix everything, but hearing other people's stories of what God has done for them does give us hope and helps us trust him. Now there's also coloring sheets as well for in between services or at the end of the services. There's whatever happens, remember how powerful God is, and our theme, puzzled, believe there's a bigger picture. So you can let your kiddos also choose some of those to color. For kids that stay between both services, that's an excellent activity to do with them in between the services. Well, that wraps up our Sunday together. Please text Timmy the keyword powerful if you've watched this video to prepare to lead your small group Sunday in discovering that something good can come out of something bad because God is powerful. Thank you again, leaders, for serving with us, and have a blessed week.